It's P.NUT the General, too new of the podcast. You keep your body clean, nah? Yeah.
Being really comfortable with all of that attention. You know what you're trying to say? Do what you do, baby. Yeah, I want to congratulate. I seen to come up through the mud. You feel me?
Real
Yeah. I'm saying, like I said, I used to be top. I'm one of the ones. When that nigga said he had a phone, his whole juice, man, I'm looking at the screen like he preaching. Cause I was on the phone with him. You feel me? So you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that he getting up there and he keeping it all the way phone. He ain't what them little niggas be saying. He ain't cloud chase. He ain't capping. He ain't doing none of that. Like, he ain't trying to make himself look. You know, he letting his legacy speak. I like that shit. Like, let your legacy.
P.NUT the General, new of the podcast. You keep your body clean, nah? Yeah. I raised some way a little late, you heard me, so I'm gonna cut the talk, you heard me. We're gonna get right into it. Here go my guest without no further ado with her story, so I'm gonna let her tell it. Yo? Yo? Oh. Let me see. There we go.
You can see me?
Yeah, you can see me.
Yep, I sure can.
We Gucci.
We Gucci, baby. Gucci,
You can show the
Gucci.
sound, everything. You can hear me. Ain't no static, ain't no echo, nothing like that.
No, no static, no static. No static. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you good. You hear me good?
Okay. All right, let's do this.
I read that we might as well get off. You hear me? Can you introduce yourself to the audience, you know what I'm saying? To the ones that don't know you already, you hear me?
Okay, well, hello, everyone. My name is Keion. I am a barber stylist loctician located on the West Bank in Terrytown. I specialize in locks. I also do braids and I specialize in color. I'm 42. I live on the West Bank. We're living on the West Bank all.
Uh, 9 times out of 10, she getting a call, you heard me? But it's all good. Y'all know I'm gonna talk my talk while it is, you heard me? So this was supposed to be a Women's Week interview, you know what I'm saying? But I had to double back on my people, you heard me? And it was supposed to be live in the shop. But at the same time, y'all if I'm down here, you know how traffic is, you heard me? So y'all it's all good, you heard me?
Can
But
you
you
hear
all right?
me?
Yeah, you got a phone
I
call,
can't
huh?
hear you.
You can't hear me?
I can't hear
I can hear you. Hold up, let me see.
you. Hey there.
You can hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Hey, I learned a little something from doing this. Yes, you know what I'm saying? You
Uh,
introduce yourself to you're a woman boss, right? I gotta start off with right? What happened to you and no boss?
with me and who? Keith?
Well, you know, I ain't gonna say you know, because, yeah, what happened with you? Yeah.
Well, nothing really happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, he posted something to social media on Instagram about us, people, enjoying themselves in the snow. So I commented and asked the question, then, well, why are you on social media in the shower? XYZ, XYZ. So I was blocked, which was okay. I shared it to Facebook with the same caption. Someone sent it to him. He inboxed me, asking me, do I know him? And I'm like, do I have to know you to share something that you share and give my opinion on it like anyone else would? So he was like, no, of course not, but don't be upset 'cause I'm about to post you. Fine, boo, you can post me. I have no issue with you going to my page pulling up whatever it is you want to pull up and post me. I don't have an issue with that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing that you can do that will literally embarrass me, right? Because I am an open book. I talk about my own life. So you can't. There's nothing you can do or anything like that. So I was okay with whatever he was doing, but he blocked me before I could even see what he posted. So I have 5 pages on Instagram, business pages. He blocked them all. So exactly, right? So someone sent me what he posted, and me being who I am, baby, I'm gonna take that shit and I'm gonna run with it. And that's what I did. So I reshared it, like the conversation and everything. One thing about it, you cannot embarrass me. Then you choose two of the prettiest pictures and call me ugly. Now you know when a person don't have anything else to say, the first thing they're gonna do is talk about your looks and come for what you have on. And that's fine, baby, because I knew I was looking good. Okay? So I wasn't even tripping on that. You know what I'm saying? So the thing was, it's okay for you as a man to sit on the internet and bash people, call yourself exposing people all day long. But the minute someone challenged you in what you're talking about, now it's like, okay, you don't agree with me. I'm about to block you and I'm about to expose you. But I know he was mad when he went on my page and saw a whole lot of cute shit. Okay.
You wanted to ask you earlier because your page usually full of positive shit, but then you run into that. You
Yeah.
understand? So, but
Yeah,
this
like
one
I'm
feels
not
good.
I'm not with all that. I'm not no internet beef person going back and forth. But if you bring shit to the internet, I'm gonna finish it on the internet. You know what I'm saying? And that's something I don't like to do. But if I gotta do it, I'm gonna do it. And that's just that. So we're gonna move on from
But
that nigga because he's irrelevant.
enough about that. Enough about
Thank
that.
you.
You went to him,
Hmm.
you hear me? But this wasn't no spur of the moment thing. You knew since you was a young child that you always wanted to do what you do while you do it, right? As a young child, what drew you to your passion?
Well, honestly, I used to as a child, I always had my little Barbie dolls, my babies and things of that nature. And I don't know what it was that drawn me to wanting to play in their hair. You know what I'm saying? I saw my cousins doing hair and those type of things. And I always watched them. So as a kid, I would get my baby dolls, my Barbie dolls, whatever they were, get my mom's curling irons, rollers, and I would just play with my dolls, curl their hair. That's something I did all the time. By the time I was about, I'm gonna say about 10, I'm gonna say about 10, I knew that I wanted to play in hair, right? As a 10-year old, I'm not quite sure what the career is, but I do know that I wanted to do hair. Um, mm, don't matter. I knew that I wanted to do hair at a young age. So by the time I was about 12, 13, I was in the kitchen with my cousins, my sisters, playing each other's hair, dyeing each other's hair, doing each other's hair, things of that nature. My cousin was our stylist, and I would watch her every time she would do either doing someone else's hair. I would watch and I would ask questions. You know what I'm saying? So by the time I was about, I'm gonna say 16, baby, I was ready. I was ready to go fully into beauty school, but I had to graduate high school first. And once I graduated high school, I did go to beauty school. So as a young kid, I think me being dealing with my dolls and that type of nature, that's what made me want to do hair. I was a
In the
cosmetologist before I was a barber.
in the world these days, right? Full of low self-confidence, low self-esteem. Uh, a lot of people getting bullied, things of that nature, right? How important is it for you to both keep men and women looking the best they can and keep a smile on their faces and positive pictures? And
Wait, can you repeat that? It was a little muffled.
it sounds like this. lot of low self confidence, a lot of low self esteem, right? How important is to you to keep people looking their finest, ways, and keep smiles on people's faces in times like this, man?
It's very important because when you look good, you feel good, right?
Facts,
So it's important for me. Like I love all my clients. So anytime my clients need me, I don't care what time it is. If they really need me to come in for anything, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? It's important because, like I said, when you look good, you feel good. When you look good, you have more confidence. You know what I'm saying? So why not make a person look good to feel more confident? I tell people all the time that, and this might sound crazy, but this is how I feel. I feel like as a stylist, a barber, anybody that makes you look good, they should be the third most important person in your life, right? That's how I feel because you have God, you have your family, and then you have your barber or your stylist, right? Because we are here for you for all your important events, right? So we making you look good for all your important events, whether you're getting married, whether it's your birthday. You know what I'm saying? You come sit up in here and we making you look good. You know what I'm saying? So I think as a stylist, being in this industry is very important to make sure you have your clients looking and feeling good. There are people that do hair, and then there are people that are stylists, cosmetologists, barbers, those type of things. There, you'll know somebody who love their job because it's gonna show, right? You're gonna do whatever you have to do to boost your business. So you'll know a person that loves what they do. They're gonna take care of your hair. Even though I'm a barber stylist, I still take care of my clients' hair. I wash my men's hair. I fuss at their asses when they ain't got their hair washed. You know, if I go to cut your hair and I see the little snowflakes flying, guess what? We going to that wash bowl. All services start at the bowl. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's always important to make your clients look good. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm done with my clients, baby, and they turn around and they look, I be bucking them up. You need to go walk in Walmart, baby. Somebody gotta see you. You understand me? Mm. So it's very important. It's very, very, very important for me to make sure that my clients look and feel good.
facts. What part of the city you from and give us your accounts as a young woman growing up in the part of the city that you from?
Huh?
What part of the city are you from and give us your accounts growing up, grew up in the part of the city that you from?
I'm from Marrero, Louisiana. You heard me from them
What the niggas be yelling?
Marrero. I'm from Marrero, born and raised all my life. You know, I moved to Gretna when I was 19 with my own place, but I'm from Marrero. Still love Marrero. But I don't live in Marrero now. I live in Harvey and I work in Gretna. hmm
With some of your accounts and your childhood growing up in the rubble.
Say it again.
With some of the accounts that you could bring us through of your accounts of growing up in the rubble, man.
Child, growing up in Marrero, it was fun. It was fun, at those times. I mean, I'm 42, so when I was younger, we were outside. You understand? We played outside. We rode our bikes places we ain't had no business. You know, I did. My sisters and I were very close, and my brother and my cousin. So we all hung. We all was around each other as kids. We grew up together. We slept in the same beds together. We fought together. So growing up in Marrero was a little different. You saw things as a kid. We saw things that we didn't understand what it was until we got a little bit older. So as a kid, having to see those type of things in your neighborhood and stuff like that, you don't know what's going on. You just think it's normal, but in all actuality, it's not. So that's just my take on Marrero. Ain't much I can say about Marrero, like as far as growing up, because I mean, I did what all kids did. I was a little rebel. If you would say, I wouldn't say I was like a bad child. I just did what I wanted to do, right? And just dealt with the consequences later.
Right, right. So what actually brought you to college and school if you saying the right?
Say, what made me want to go to cosmetology school?
What actually brought you there? I mean, you kind of grew up in here, right? So what made you want to go to school for? What brought
Well,
you to school?
when I was about 16, I always knew I didn't want to work for anybody. I always knew that I wanted to be in business for myself, right? Um, so when I decided to go to beauty school, I was already doing weaves, colors. I was making money at like 13, 14 years old. You know, doing my little friend's hair, my cousin's hair, things of that nature. But I think that's what made me really want to go and pursue it as a career because I always did love it. I always loved to look good from head to toe. So I think that's what made me really want to go. Like I knew that was my passion because I was always doing something with hair. Always. Any nails, makeup. I was doing all that stuff. I'm not really into makeup, but I'll do it. But cosmetology school, I think that's what made me go. When I wanted to go to cosmetology school, I did tell my dad that. I told my dad, I said, because he asked me, he was like, you got to be graduating next year. Do you have plans on what you want to do when you get out of school? And I was like, yeah, I want to go to school for cosmetologist. Well, he shut that down. He shut it down. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need to go to school for that. You need that's why I think, but that's not what I wanted to do. I want to go for this. You know what I'm saying? But even though he shut it down, it still didn't stop me from going and pursuing. I didn't get to finish it, because I got pregnant and I ended up having to go on bed rest. And then the school that I was going to Moors, they ended up shutting down. So I didn't get to finish cosmetology school. So but I was still doing hair. I was pregnant and I had a job. So,
At this age, start pregnant, how did you change your life?
huh?
At this age, you were 16, right?
Wait, I can't hear you. You kind of muffly a little bit.
I'm muffling. Hold on.
Yeah, I think you may be too far from the mic, maybe. Hey y'all.
You hear me now?
Yes, I can.
I'm straight. I'm still muffled.
No, I think because you're closer to the mic.
I'm straight now.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. So you were 16 when you got pregnant.
Huh?
You were 16 when you got pregnant.
No, I actually was 19. I had just got out of high school. A
Mm-hmm.
year later, I was pregnant. I got pregnant at 19.
Okay.
That wasn't something I was, wanting to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But and I'm not saying it was a mistake because I was old enough to know to use protection.
Right.
So I got pregnant at 19. I moved out and got my own place at 19. Me and my kid's dad, we stayed together. At 19, he was 22 at the time, 21, 22, I think he was. And by the time I was 24, I had 3 kids. So my plan for life went different. I had already had my plan set. I was, I'm going to go to cosmetology school. I'm going to get out of school. I'm going to start into my career, open up my shop, have kids, or get married, have kids. It didn't go that way. It went the opposite way, which was okay. Because whatever God had in store for me, I still ended up, you know, in the industry I wanted to be in.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes as a young mother, it was hard. Yeah, it was hard because my kid's dad at the time, he was still into the streets. So he wasn't really home with me all the time when I started having my kids, my first two. He was going a lot. So it was hard living by yourself, living on your own and not really knowing much about life, but you know about life. So it was hard. I wouldn't change anything, because at the age I am now, my kids are grown and I can actually live my life now.
Can
You
you
know?
remember where you were mentally at this time?
Huh?
mentally? Can you remember where you were mentally at this time?
Ooh, at that time when I was pregnant, or when I
Yeah.
living on my own with kids,
Like
mentally,
going through that little process of it,
ooh,
you understand?
my mental state was not good. My mental state wasn't good because I had three kids. I'm struggling. I'm barely making it. You know, and at that time, my kid's dad, he had an addiction, so that also kind of like made me put everything I wanted to do on a back burner and focus on taking care of my children and making sure we had a roof over our heads. You know, so at that time, my mental state wasn't good. You know, I was angry a lot. You know, and not knowing really knowing why I'm angry, but the state of mind that I was in, it wasn't a good state because I was going through so much. You know, so.
When you wind up homeless, right? How
Mhm.
did one wind up homeless? And can you define like homeless? Because a lot of people do like homeless, like, all right, I don't have a home of my own, but like, post. But you like outside homeless or like back to the post home? And how did you end up
Um.
in that situation in the first place?
Wait. Okay. So you want to know how I became homeless?
Yeah.
Okay. So my kids they had a drug addiction. He was a heroin addict. You know. I didn't find out about it until maybe like 6 years into the relationship. I was green. I was green as hell. You know, I was church girl. You know, I don't know about. I have a whole hood nigga I'm dealing with, a whole street nigga that I'm dealing with. I don't know, you know, but that's what I was dealing with. So when I found out about it, I didn't like it. You know, I was still in my 20s. I didn't like it, and at that point, he had been doing it for a long time. So his addiction caused him to do things that uh, eventually left us homeless. So one time before, you know, like my rent money came up missing, the whole rent money, like the whole rent money, right? So I had to put up somewhere, and only I knew, and he knew where it was. I come home, the box that it was in was sitting on my sofa, the money was gone. He said he didn't take it. Okay, you didn't take it, all right. So fast forward to that week, my landlord called and said, listen, I'm gonna be a little late. I have to get the money to pay. So he did give me some time to pay, right? But eventually I didn't come up with the money at that time. Like I said, I was working these piss poor ass jobs where I was barely making it, and then he has a drug addiction. And I'm taking care of three kids, young kids. So he say that he put an eviction notice on my door, but I never received the eviction notice. So when I got the second eviction notice to be out in 7 days, I called him and I was, listen, I never received the first one. Can you give me till Friday to get my things out? He was like, cool. Next morning comes, I leave to go get some boxes. I come back, the constable at my house taking my shit out of my house, bringing it to the street, right? So at that time, like, I had nowhere to go. I had nowhere to go. You know what I'm saying? So at first I was staying with a family member. That didn't work out. So then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just get a hotel room. So I stayed at the Siesta Motel for 3 months. I walked back and forth to work because I was working at West Jeff Hospital.
With
So
your
I was
three
walking,
kids?
huh?
With your three kids?
Well, my three kids were staying with their dad's mom, but I couldn't stay there because she was staying with her mom. And you know, if you're not married, you can't be in the same house, which was fine. As long as my kids had somewhere to go. I wasn't worrying about me at the moment. I was worrying about my kids being able to have somewhere to sleep at night. You know what I'm saying? Be able to be comfortable. So I stayed close to them, but I stayed in a hotel, well, a motel. That I was paying like three something a week to stay there, and it was days that I didn't have the fucking money to pay. So I would either sleep at my job. I was a dispatch operator for West Jeff Hospital, but inside our office we had a break room, and it was separate from our office. So I was sleeping there I would shower at the fucking gym. I slept in my car, well, my truck. I slept in my truck for a couple of days, like, and then I eventually went to my grandmother's house. And the only reason I didn't go there first because she lived way in Algiers. I didn't have a vehicle. I didn't have a way to get around. I barely had money. You know what I'm saying? To catch a cab back and forth to work. You know what I'm saying? So it was days I would work overnight and get off at 5:30 in the morning, and I have nowhere to go. I'm just sitting at my job in my office until I can go check into a hotel. You know what I'm saying? So those times were hard because for at least 8 months I wasn't with my kids. Like I would see them, but I was never really with them. That
You
was
need
hard.
you need a minute?
Okay, I'm okay.
You sure?
hmm that was hard for me as a mother. I can't I can't be with my children. I can, but I had to wait until I was off. Like I'm not getting them ready in the morning for school. Their grandmother's doing those things, and my kids asking me, "Well, Mama, why we don't see you?" You know, it was just a lot. It was a lot that I dealt with. And then my kid's dad eventually started shooting heroin, right? Now don't get me wrong. He was a great father to his kids. He always had his kids. But as a partner, he was not. But and I know people may say, well, why he didn't leave? Why he didn't? I can't blame everything on him, but because I accepted what he was doing, I
Man, if
allowed.
you from that background, we know what sound. You
Huh?
know, we know what sound like. If you from there, we know what we know what you don't
Yeah.
have to
So
explain that.
yeah. So it was hard. You know what I'm saying? Trying to figure out where you're gonna sleep sometimes, and just not really having anything. But I stayed prayed up, and I kept my faith, and I just kept going. You know, I didn't care what I was going through. I just kept going and going until I got to where I needed to be. I
What
didn't
kept you
let,
going?
huh?
What kept you going?
My kids. I was my children. I didn't want them. I had already put them through enough, you know, not being there and things of that nature. And I'm not about to say, you know, what happened to me or what I went through was their dad's fault because it was both of it was both of us. Because if I could have been walked away, I could have, but I loved him so much that I thought he was going to get himself together eventually, right? But in the meantime, when I wanted to get him when I wanted to do those, make sure he get himself together. He didn't want that, and that was okay because you have to be ready to want to get yourself clean. So my words to him was, okay, that's fine, but while you're living that life, I'm going to live my own life. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you're ready, I'm gonna be right here. I'm gonna be ready to get yourself together.
How
But
did you eventually end up getting out that situation?
huh?
How did you eventually end up getting out that situation that you was in?
Wait, I can't. You're a little muffled.
It's still doing that?
It's just kind of going in and out. Like,
Yeah. How did you eventually get through that situation?
oh, child. I couldn't tell you. I had a friend, a guy friend, right? He was a good friend of mine. He prayed with me a lot. Like, he really helped me through those times when I was how I was. He was there for me, right? And I just started praying a lot. Like, I grew up in the church, and I did stray away from the church for a while. But I just started praying every day and just asking God, what is it that you want me to do? I'm putting everything in your hands. I'm gonna follow the path that you have for me, right? I'm not gonna try to do anything on my own because every time I did, I failed at it, right? So I just kind of like my kids, seeing them, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? I have to do better because my children are watching. I have two girls also, you know what I'm saying? One boy, so they watching me. You know what I'm saying? They watching me. It's a lot of times I was going through a lot of shit, and I never really showed it. You know, I went through depression. I went through all that. So it was just, I don't know. It was just me wanting better and me wanting to be with my children. You know what I'm saying? My kids are my everything. I don't care who I fall out with, who I don't deal with. As long as I got my children, I am fine.
It's a lot of people going through what you went through. Do you have some advice for somebody who is going through or just getting through what you had got through?
Just don't give up. I know sometimes you might feel like the world is against you, people are against you, whatever. But just keep going. Keep going, because trust me, it's gonna have something better on the other side. Just keep going. Don't give up. You gotta have faith. You gotta have faith the size of a mustard seed, right? That's what God said. That's what they say, right? You know how small a mustard seed is? That's all you need. Just that much faith. And things will work out for you. Pray. Have friends around you who can help and motivate you. It's it's
A
it's
support
hard when
system.
you're doing it by yourself. When you're going through it by yourself. It is. It's really hard. You know,
You
because I
talking
was
about a
doing shit
support
on my
system,
own.
right?
Huh?
You talking about a support system, right?
Yeah, you need a support system.
Did you
I
did
didn't
you
have that.
did you have one?
No, I didn't. I was on my own. And no shade to anybody, but I literally dealt with that shit on my own. I didn't pick up the phone, call nobody, because I knew I wasn't leaving at that time. So why pick up the phone and be complaining about my situation if I'm still staying there? You know? So I didn't have that support system like I should have had. I didn't have that. Like friends, like friends, let me tell y'all, friends, I had friends whose sofa I couldn't sleep on. You understand what I'm saying? When I had you up in my shit, I just try to get people to understand, like, when you at your lowest, that's when you find out who your family and your friends were. I was at my lowest. At my lowest. And you know what? A friend of mine said, "Oh well, why you didn't say nothing, bitch? You knew what was going on. Excuse my language, but you knew what was going on."
You can say what
I'm
you want.
not, huh?
You can say what you want.
I'm not about to put my issues and what I have going on anybody else. If I can deal with them, I'm gonna deal with them because I know my friend or whomever, they have their own issues they're going through at that time right now. So me pouring my shit on you, that's a lot. That's a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like my kids. I'm gonna say my kids and me wanting to do better and me wanting to be in the career that I'm in. That's what really pushed me and motivated me to really keep going. No matter what I was going through, I kept going. No matter how many apartments I lost, I kept going. You know what I'm saying? I ain't been homeless once. I've been homeless multiple times. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, a lot of people didn't know because I didn't say anything. I just dealt with those things on my own. Because what can you do? I came to you once before, right? And you turned me down. So what can you do now? You're still in your situation, so you can't help me out. I'm not gonna go to a person I know that can't help me out. So I just did what I had to do. And if that meant me staying in a fucking motel where they sell crack and prostitution because it was the cheapest thing I could afford, that's what I'm gonna do. Did I want to do that? Absolutely not. But I had to do what I had to do to make sure I had somewhere to sleep at night. I was in a motel with most of my shit from my house, piled up in the motel because the storage was already full. So I had a lot of things. Like I dealt with a lot of shit. Like a lot. I lived in Texas. After the storm, I did live in Texas. I had a baby out there right after Katrina. So I was there for a little while. I went through that. That was another struggle I went through. I evacuated. I was pregnant. I was in labor while we were evacuating. Did not know.
How was that? How was that?
Um, it was it was terrible. I'm gonna just be honest. It was terrible because I had no idea I was in labor with my second child because I wasn't having contractions, but my back was hurt. I just kept saying my back hurt. I kept taking Tylenol. But once we made it to Texas, right? The next day I went to the emergency room just because my daughter was due any day. So I went to the emergency room and the guy told me that he's gonna do the C-section the next day. So I ended up having a baby out there. I had a newborn and a 2-year old, right? Me and my kids dad, we was together. We was in Galveston, Texas. We was out there for a good little while. So I'm in the hospital having a baby. My mom and everybody was there. They're out there trying to figure out, trying to get some assistance. So I'm in the hospital by myself. My kid's dad didn't leave when I left for Katrina. He stayed with his mom, and then they decided to leave. So he was nowhere right with me when I was doing all this. But I did get in a vehicle, and I went found his ass. I went found his ass when he finally evacuated. So he was in Crosby, Texas. So we in Galveston. Now we have to leave Galveston because Rita is about to hit Galveston. So here I am.
People be forgetting about Rita. People forget
Who? And I
about
had a
you.
2-week-old baby. We were on Galveston Beach. We were on the beach. I had a 2-week-old baby and a 2-year-old son with a freshly cut C-section, freshly cut. Sat in traffic for 10 hours trying to get to Dallas. Never made it to Dallas. Ended up being somewhere else. Right? Got me a place to stay out there. I just wasn't having it. I wanted to come back home. So ended up coming back home. I started working for Jackson Hewitt doing taxes, and it just went off from there. And next thing you know, I had another child by the time I was 24. Mm-hmm. Would I change anything? Nope. I wouldn't change anything.
So how did you turn that background into owning multiple businesses?
Huh?
How did you turn that background into owning multiple businesses?
Well, first of all, like I told you before, I knew that I was never. I didn't want to work for anybody. I did work for the hospital for 9 years, right? After I decided I didn't want to do hair anymore.
Wait, wait, wait,
Huh?
wait. When did you decide you didn't want to do hair anymore and why?
Okay, so about 2013, maybe 2011, something like that. Women are complicated. And I'm gonna be honest. When it comes to doing hair, I am the stylist, right?
Hey,
So if you want to come and your friend comes and y'all both want to get a blunt cut bob, which is fine, but me as a stylist, I do things based off of facial shapes, hair textures, right? Everybody can't get everything. You can't
hey.
get what your friend get. So if your friend has a round face, she can wear anything. She can hit that blunt bob. She could do all that. You feel me? But bitch, you got a fucking square head. But you want to get a blunt cut bob. Now you're gonna be looking like fucking Dora the Explorer. You're gonna be mad with me because I'm telling you. So I'm gonna suggest no. I don't think you all right. I don't think you should get the blunt cut bob. I think you should get an inverted bob, asymmetrical, whatever. But you're telling me what you want, so all right, so this is what you want. Now I done told you I don't think you should get that.
Right.
Secondly, your friend's hair texture is totally different from yours. So the way her hair may fall, the way whatever it may not be the same as yours, right?
Yeah.
So now here you want this bob. I put the fucking bob in your head. Now you don't like it. I told you you wasn't gonna fucking like it, right? Because you got a square head. I take pride in my work. I'm not gonna do anything because you feel like it can be done. Same in a barbershop. I'm not gonna cut a fucking man who got a long neck. I'm not gonna give him a bald fade. Why would I give him a fucking high fade? A high, he got his neck already long. You feel me? Now you got the man looking like whatever out there. The cut might be fresh, but look at the back of his head. You feel me? So I decided, you know what? I'm done with this shit. I'm tired of dealing with women, and women are fucking messy. That's another thing. Like, they messy. I ain't got time for that. So I decided to give me a fucking job. And I worked at West Jeff Hospital for about 8, 9 years. But
So
while I was
we
in school,
went for 8 and 9 years. So you ain't do hair at all.
every now and then, like I would do braids, like my daughters, I would do their hair. If my sister wanted her hair done, or my cousin, something like that, but I just completely stopped doing hair. Yes, I did. And I went and got me a
See,
fucking job.
what was the last drop when you was like, fuck it, I ain't doing this shit anymore?
That, the incident, like women, women, you know, not being able to take constructive criticism, right? You have to be able to take those type of things, especially if I'm trying to make you look good. I would never do anything to have you look in any kind of way because that's my work.
It's your
I
job.
take pride in I take pride in my work. So I'm not gonna send you out there in the streets and you're looking how you looking. So I just didn't, and I wouldn't really say it was the last straw. I just kind of got tired of dealing with women. Like I got tired of dealing with them.
So
So I
so
just
after damn near a decade, or almost a decade, who brought you back to the hair?
um back in 2013, like right, I've always been short. My hair's always been short. Since I probably like about 14, 15, my hair's always been short. So I started going to like barbershops with my son at the time. Brady would get his hair cut when he was younger. And then when I started getting, I would cut my own hair. But then when I started going to a barbershop, because I want like designs, and I just would sit up in there, and I'm like, man, first of all, the smell of the barbershop. I love the smell of a barbershop. I've always
Right,
loved the smell of a
right.
barbershop. Um, Sitting in there watching what they can do. I know what to do with a woman's head, but watching them actually cut someone's hair and they come in there looking like they looking, and when they leave, you like, damn, nigga, go to the mall. Let somebody see this shit. Like every time. So then when I would get my hair cut, like I would love my haircut. So I told my kids that. I was like, you know what? But also, I always, from the age of 13, I've always had a pair of fucking clippers and liners. Why? I don't know. But I always had them, right? So every now and then I would take them out, play in my little head. I never, being a barber was never something that I thought I was going to do, right? But I always had clippers. I always had liners. I always did. I would cut my grandfather hair when I was young. He wasn't getting nothing major, just all even Ivy League. It wasn't nothing, you know. But I never thought I would be into doing this. So working for West Jeff, I was making fucking pennies. I was barely making it every 2 weeks. Bringing home a $400 check every 2 weeks as a dispatch operator for the fucking hospital. Like, we the heart of the hospital. This is what the fuck we making? $9. I started off at $8. So I'm like, this ain't cutting it. I can't keep working like this So I said, you know what? I'm gonna go back because my hours were still valid for cosmetology, and I was gonna go get my license. So I go sign up for school, but I didn't have a passport picture, so I couldn't complete my application for cosmetology, right? So I go and get my passport picture. I come back to the school. The lady tells me um, cosmetology is full, right? Now, I did speak on going to barbering, being a barber when I was 13, about, I mean, in 2013. But at that time, like I said, my kid's dad, he had his issues, and he felt like if I went to school to be a barber, all these men, this, that, and the third. No, I'm not in this industry for that. I can holler at any nigga anytime if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't go. I put it on hold again for him to keep the confusion down, right? And I'm kind of glad I didn't go at that time because if I did, I think I would have been dropping out and I would have never been where I am now
Mhm.
because of the issues that was going on in my household, right? So I was at work one day and I was like, God, I just need another job. I need something better. You know what I'm
But
saying? But I remember saying, Lord, if you make a way for me to go back to school, I'm going. So the job that I was working from 12:30 in the evening till 9 at night, right? So how am I gonna go to school? Nobody wants to work that shift. I can't switch with nobody. So I was like, fuck it. So I started looking for another job. Got an interview for one job. Got the job, paying $19 an hour. Went to work for that first day, that first time, and the lady was like, "Oh, you're not gonna be able to work because you have something on your background." I'm like, what the fuck is on my background? Why I can't work? So boom, that was another door shut. That was a door shut in my face, right? Then another job came along. Same thing, $18 an hour. I'm making fucking $9 an hour. So now, yes, I'm gonna jump on that, right? Did the
you're right.
interview, got the job, but my background came back, same thing. But what the fuck is on my background? Because I'm like, I'm not a criminal. I ain't never did no fucked up, you know. So after that door got shut, I sat in my room and I cried. I'm like, God, what is you doing? I be calling them big sandals. Some people don't mind. I'm like, what is it? Like, I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to make things better for my family. I'm trying to do these things, but you just keep closing all these doors in my face.
Why
You
you
know?
ain't go get your background check the first time?
But look, because I didn't think I had nothing on my background. But let me tell you how things work. When I sat there and I'm crying, you know what God said?
Go get your background.
No, 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 no. He said, you prayed and asked me if I made a way for you to go back to school, you were gonna go. At that time, I had went PRN, so I was working as needed, right? So I'm like, you know what? This is my opportunity right here. So boom, I went. Ain't nobody know what the fuck I was doing. I went. I ain't said nothing to nobody. I signed up for school. I took my test. So when a lady told me it was full for cosmetology, I was like, damn, what the fuck? I said, you know what? I said, do y'all have openings for barbering? She was like, yeah. I said, sign me up for that. And let me tell you something. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fuck out of learning when I was going to school to be a barber. I wasn't the only girl up there. It was four of us. But by the time we finished, it was only two of us. But that I think that's what made me go back. Go because I always say I'm not working for nobody. But when I got the job for West Jeff, I got comfortable because I like the job. I like my coworkers. I like my supervisor. So
It's
I got
stability.
comfortable.
It's
Huh?
stability. It's stability.
Right, and it was stability at that particular time. You know what I'm saying?
But
So because any other job I had before, I just quit them. I work, got tired of work, I'm quitting. I ain't care. I quit. You know what I'm saying? But now, so I went to school, finished school, and now I'm doing what I've been wanting to do. It didn't happen the way I wanted it to happen, but it happened. I always kept my eye on working for myself. I never say, I'm gonna settle and just work this job the rest of my life. No, 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 no. I didn't want to do that. So I went to school. And
So let
also,
me ask you this. You say you in charge of two from Bob school, right? But
mhm,
what did you learn from going through that experience that you went through? Like, what did that teach you?
it taught me strength, resilience. It taught me that I can do whatever it is, no matter what's thrown at me, I can keep going. It taught me to have faith. It taught me, I wouldn't say not to trust, but who to trust. It taught me a lot. It taught me a lot. It taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about life, right? It taught me a lot about, you know, people, right? I became stronger because I went through what I went through. You know what I'm saying? So at the age I am now, like nothing can hurt me. Except for my kids, they do some fucked up shit. That'll hurt me. But as far as anybody, that's why I took it. I say I've been through a lot. I can write a book on what I've been through. This is just some of it. So when people come to me with certain, listen, I've been through all that, and I typically talk about what you've been through in life, because sometimes there are people out here who can fucking use that, who may be feeling how you were feeling or going through what you were going through. So I don't have an issue. Like somebody told me, talking about my life is going to open up Pandora's box. Open it up. Open it up. Open it. I don't have an issue. Open it. You know what I'm saying? Because my life was never perfect, and I never act as if my life was perfect. When people try to throw my kid's dad in my face about him being on drugs, I'm like, listen, I know that. I live with the nigga. I saw this shit. I dealt with the shit. So you telling me something about my nigga being on drugs, bitch, I know that. You think I don't know that? I was with the man for 26 years. You don't think I knew that? I knew that. Did I like that? No. But what can I do? You know what I'm saying? But walk away. I stayed for my kids. But, and I'm gonna be straight up, staying for my kids hurt my kids more than me leaving. Because they saw things they shouldn't have saw. They heard things they shouldn't have heard. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like me staying for the sake of my children was like the worst thing I could have done. You know what I'm saying? That's like the worst thing I could have done. You know. But shit happens. People go through things. I'm not perfect. My relationship, my life was never perfect. You know what I'm saying? So I've been through shit. I did shit. You know what I'm saying? I've been in jail. A lot of shit. So I don't, I don't knock anyone. That's why I say I don't judge. I don't judge because people go through things. I've been through a lot, but here I am, still standing tall.
You overcame a lot.
Huh?
You overcame a lot.
I did. I did. I really, really did. And then I just kept on. For I know you asked me about my businesses, right? How I opened my businesses. So for COVID is one of the times when I learned. I bought a cricket machine like a year ago. Before that, and then when COVID hit, I'm like, well, fuck it. I ain't got nothing to do. Let me take the machine out and just start doing shit. So when I learned how to use the machine, use the printer, do all that stuff, I started making gift boxes, gift sets, baby sets. You know what I'm saying? Gift boxes for babies with personalized items for like $80. It was a lot of things. So that was my business during COVID. That's how I made money. That's how I paid my bills. Um, I did taxes for 18 years. I always did taxes. So this year was the year I'm going to come out with I came out with my own business. You know what I'm saying? And then I also have a podcast. We haven't been on the podcast. It's been about a year. But we're definitely getting back into it this year because, my co-hosts, I had to get new co-hosts, and some of my other co-hosts had to work certain days overnight, so we couldn't do it like we needed to do it. So I just put it on hold for a while.
How did you come into doing the podcast?
Huh?
How did you come into doing the podcast?
So coming into doing the podcast, so my cousin and I, we will always be on social media on Facebook, just ribbing, just joke. That's what we do. We would rip the fuck out you. Like we would
Right.
be at work and just choose a person and just rib your ass all night. Tag you and rib you all night, right? So everybody kept saying, man, y'all need a fucking podcast, bro. Y'all be, and then by me always making videos or talking or things like that, they were like, you need a podcast. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it one day. So one day I woke up, my sister had them fucking posted about a fucking podcast. She just threw it out there, right? I said, this motherfucker, what the hell? So I'm like, okay, boom. So it's out there, so we gotta go ahead and do it. So when we first did it, it was my sister, my cousin, and I, and we were
What's
doing
the
like a
name of
Freaky
it?
Friday segment, huh?
What's the name of it?
It was the Shade Report podcast. I didn't really care for the name because it was too close to the Shade Room. But my sister sold glasses, so she fucking named it the Shade Report podcast.
I'm
So we would
saying,
do it. So we
I,
just,
I could feel it. She stole glasses. I could
you
feel
know. So yeah. So we just went with it. She threw it out there. I don't know what the fuck was going through her mind that night when she did that, but she did it. I woke up to it. So she was like, "Fuck, cause y'all was taking too long." I said, "You know what? You're right.
it.
Sometimes you gotta just throw it out there, right?" We didn't know nothing about doing no podcast. We didn't know nothing about setting. We had phones. We had our phones set up on a motherfucking table. We sitting on the couch. We had a Freaky Friday segment, right? Every Friday. So I'm like, after a while, I'm like, listen, there's only so much we can talk about when it comes to sex. We have to, you know, shake it up a little bit. Do some
Right.
different things. So then we started having um topics of the day, right? We'll do topics. We'll shout out black kings that have businesses, small businesses. We'll bring them onto the podcast. Let them talk about their items, things like that, right? So then I'm like, well, fuck, we can't always have a female's point of view. We need a male's point of view. So I brought in two males. So it ended up being my cousin and I and two males. And then when my cousin left, it was just me and the two males. But we did our fucking thing. And people loved watching us, you know what I'm saying? So we're definitely gonna get back to that because we had a lot of time. We would bring guests on. We would have a guest. We'll always have somebody come on, or we'll just do us, or we'll have somebody come on. And we'll just have a good conversation. It was an hour show. Sometimes we went over, depending on how good the conversation was going. But I love my podcast. I think it gave me a chance to really talk about things that I want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? To an audience that I want to either give some knowledge to, you know what I'm saying, or just talk about things, talk about
Why
life.
you
And we
stop?
always went live. We always went live and did it. So
Why
anytime
you
we did
stop
it,
then?
we went live, huh?
Why you stop?
Well, I wouldn't say I completely stopped. I had put it on hold for a little minute because I was trying to get my barber business up and running, like really get my clientele, try to focus on that more than the podcast. And then the two guys I had, they started working overnights on the days that we shot it. You know what I'm saying? Then we try to get other days, but the other days didn't work because either I had to work or whatever was going on. So I said, I'm gonna put it on hold for a moment. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna get, because I want to do it the right way. You know what I'm saying? I need a cameraman. I need those type of things. I did all my setup. I had all my ring lights, my cameras. I did all the setting up for the microphones, everything. I did all of that myself. But I ain't good at editing shit. So I would need somebody to actually edit it, put it up to YouTube for me, stuff like that. So, but I'm about to get back on it though. I'm definitely about to get back on it because I have a lot I want to talk about. A lot. This last year and a half, I see a lot of shit. So there's a lot of things that I do want to talk about.
What's next for you?
Um, ooh, child, what's next? What's next? Um, well, I got my barber business. I got my business going. My next venture that I do want to get into, I want to come out with my own color line. I love mixing colors together and coming out with my own color. So I have like water bottles of color.
Somebody in the comments said they got a team that handle that.
Oh well, let's go, baby. Let's go. I want to do that. I have 8 colors already. I got the name of my I'm tapping in, sis. I got the name of my line and everything. I'm just waiting. I just need 20,000 and and I needed somebody who can help me out with that. You know what I'm saying? So I am looking to come out with my own color line, um, and some of my own hair products. I'm a loctician, you know what I'm saying? So I do a lot of locks. So I do in the products in the store. Some of the products my clients can't use on their scalp. Some can use. So I would rather just come out with something that's unisex for everyone to be able to use in their hair. You know, so I'm working on that. I already got my color line. I got my colors already. I have that already set. So what's next? Next will be that, and then my hair products, my lock gel, my shampoo for locks. I want to come out with a detox shampoo. It's a couple of things, and I'm getting into real estate. You know, so I took a real estate course when I was 25, and so now I really want to get into real estate because I want to open up a couple of Airbnbs. You know, and I am going to get my own
That's
shop
what a
eventually.
bag at.
Huh?
That's what a bag at.
Yeah. So that's one of my goals right now. I've been working on I've been working with someone so I can start getting into my real estate and start developing things, that I want to do. I'm trying to have it all. I know I might not can have it all, but if I can have all of what I want, I would be fine. I would be fine. So yeah. What the hell?
So
So thank
before
you.
we get dog crazy, you
Uh-huh.
know yourself. Whenever you come into the podcast, whatever you got going on, promote all your content, promote all your social media pages. You feel me? I don't know what the fuck going on with the sound, dog. This is the usual, dog. Like, y'all go back to everything else. This shit
Oh,
do
all
this,
right,
dog.
Brandon. Wait. I don't know what's going on either, but
Fuck,
you
man.
know,
But promote yourself. You hear me?
of course. I'm always listen. I be out in public, and people be coming up to me. They be like, "I know who you are. Yeah, that's me, girl." Where you went at? I don't know where you
I'm
went.
right here.
Oh,
I
there you go.
do. No, I'm saying promote yourself. You hear me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Listen, I be all in a store. Like when I first got my barber cards and I went to patch them out, I was all in the niggas barber shop. I ain't give a fuck. I'm all in your shop. Yes, put my cards up in here. Mm-hmm. That's what I did. So, like I said, keep going. You know what I'm saying? Keep pushing. I don't care what you go through. Just keep going. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna constantly get knocked down, but get right the fuck back up and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Keep the drama away. Don't be in no drama. If you gotta address something, address it and keep it moving. That's all you gotta do. You know, life will be great. Thank you, sis.
So
So
I don't know what's wrong with the stat dad, dog. The status is diabolical, dog. It
it's a little
is, dog.
diabolical, but that's
It
okay.
is, dog. I don't know. But the show had to go on, dog. The show had to
Okay.
go on. I apologize about the audio, you heard me. But they did hear you clear, you know what I'm saying? So that's all that matters, you heard me. I
Yeah,
just
baby.
asked the questions anyway. You the one get the story, you heard me.
Okay. Give the story, baby.
You understand me?
Mm.
So leave 'em with all your social medias, you heard me?
Huh?
Leave 'em with all your social medias, you heard me?
Can I type on here? Can I type something?
Yeah, put
Okay,
it in the
okay. I'm
comments.
about to I'm
I
about to put it in
did.
the huh?
No, I was talking to the comments, you heard me? They say check my mic settings. I did, you heard me? I did all that, you heard me? You
She
getting
be acting up
feedback.
sometimes.
I know. But the show had to go on, you heard me?
Yep.
And it's
Yep.
all
Yep.
gravy.
I'm gonna go ahead and put my my Instagram, my main page, and you can click
Mhm.
on that link. and you'll see all my other pages in the bio. So you can just click on those. And I'm gonna also send my Instagram and my Facebook. My Facebook has all my links on it also. So
No,
that way,
you
because
put
I
it
got a
in
lot
a
of people.
private. Hold up, wait. You put it in a private chat. But you gotta
I
put it in
did.
the comments. Yeah, you gotta put it
I
in the
thought I
comments.
did.
That's
How you
that's
do that?
that's what
Oh, okay. I see. Never
you
mind.
said.
Never mind. I got it.
You got it.
I gotta connect the YouTube to comment. Oh, okay. I see. So yeah. So I'll put my Facebook and my Facebook on there, and that'll have all my links to all my pages in the bio. So that way, well, it's not letting me. I don't know what's going on. It's not letting me.
They be soldier hating on me so bad, dog. That's so fucking blooded, dog.
Oh, you ecstatic?
I know, man.
I don't know what I did.
It's P.NUT the General, 2-0 of the podcast. You keep your body clean, nah? Yeah.
Are you really comfortable with all of that attention? I know what you're trying to say.
Do what you do, baby.
Yeah, I want congrats. I seen to come up through the mud. You feel me?
Real.
Yeah. I'm saying, like I said, I used to be top. I'm one of the ones. When that nigga said he had a phone, his whole juice. Man, I'm looking at the screen like he preach. Cause I was on the phone with him. You feel me? So you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that you getting up there and you keeping it all the way phony. What them little niggas be saying? He ain't cloud chase, he ain't capping, he ain't doing none of that. Like, he ain't trying to make himself look. You know, he letting his legacy speak. I like that shit. Like, let your legacy